Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out.
I don't guess you could buy the entire WNBA.
Sophie Cunningham just exposed the WNBA in a way no player ever has before. A TikTok rant, a controversial t-shirt, and an explosive feud with league officials have turned Cunningham from basketball player to rebel icon overnight. Fans are calling it legendary, but the WNBA wants her silent. Sophie's $5,000 fine became her battle cry, and the league is scrambling to regain control. Like, subscribe, and comment. Is Sophie Cunningham saving the WNBA or destroying it from the inside? Buckle up, because what Sophie did next is even crazier.
We know somebody that has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year. And then, of course, there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game. And by the end of that game, she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer.
It began during the heated matchup between Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun. Sophie Cunningham, known for her fiery style, took a brutal hit to the head, yet the referees stayed silent. Moments later, another aggressive grab around her neck went unnoticed again, sparking fury among viewers. Fans erupted online, accusing referees of blatant negligence. Tension spilled into post-game chaos, with Cunningham confronting referees alongside teammate Caitlin Clark.
So as you can see after the game, Caitlin Clark and Sophie are both running up to the referee here. They are both so upset, and the referee is just walking away from them. He won't even look at them in the face. He keeps turning. Like, Sophie even went up at one point and is like tapping on his arm. He would not even look at them. You guys, I have watched so much basketball in my lifetime, so much NBA, so much professional basketball. It's comical at times when you see the players after the games talking to the refs, because a lot of them end up knowing each other at a certain point because they've reffed their game so many times. The fact that this referee wouldn't even acknowledge the players.
Footage showed officials shockingly ignoring them, refusing even eye contact, adding fuel to the already blazing fire. Social media exploded, calling out the league's incompetence while demanding justice for Sophie. Her public confrontation with referees didn't just expose poor officiating, it marked the beginning of a revolution, but the real drama hadn't even started. What Sophie Cunningham did next didn't just shock the league, it turned women's basketball upside down overnight. After the game, Sophie Cunningham refused to remain silent. She took her frustration straight to TikTok, delivering a ruthless takedown of WNBA referees. Cunningham labeled the officials as slow, useless, and blind, igniting instant outrage online. Within minutes, the video skyrocketed to over 1.3 million views, flooding social media with thousands of angry comments and reactions. Fans rallied around her bold move, praising her bravery for saying out loud what many players feared to admit. The WNBA quickly responded by slapping Sophie with a $5,000 fine, clearly aiming to silence and control her narrative. However, this heavy-handed response only amplified Cunningham's message, proving the league was terrified of honest criticism. The fine meant nothing, because Sophie had just set the stage for an unprecedented showdown with league officials, and what she did next made the TikTok video seem tame. Instead of quietly accepting the punishment, Sophie Cunningham turned her $5,000 fine into the ultimate power move. In defiance, she showed up to the next game proudly wearing an Arby's shirt emblazoned with the phrase, "Hot Girls Eat Arby's." The internet exploded instantly. Fans and critics alike saw this as a direct jab at league officials, with Arby's official social media account even joining in, praising Cunningham as an unapologetic queen. Within hours, the shirt became a cultural phenomenon, selling out completely across the country. Over 800,000 shirts vanished from shelves, bringing millions in revenue, but not a single penny went to the WNBA. The league was humiliated, losing control of their narrative overnight. What started as a petty fine quickly transformed into one of the greatest marketing stunts in sports history, and Sophie Cunningham became the face of a rebellion that had only just begun.
This arrangement into the Chicago Sky game. Of course, the Indiana Fever, I would like to say beat the brakes off the Sky, but really it felt like they underachieved a good bit yesterday with so many Sky members being out of the lineup. But nonetheless, she came walking in to the arena yesterday wearing that. There she is right there. Let's just bring this up over at Tater Report. There she is right there. Hot Girls Eat Arby's. I can only imagine, and I have no idea. I would assume this is some kind of sponsorship.
While the WNBA struggled to contain Sophie Cunningham's rising fame, something remarkable happened behind the scenes. Cunningham's controversial stand didn't just boost her own profile, it directly impacted teammate Caitlin Clark.
Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark. She did all of these Instagrams, she did all of this stuff, and next thing you know, it all didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, I'm looking at her Instagram now.
Previously the undisputed star of the Indiana Fever, in an unprecedented twist, Sophie's jersey quickly surpassed Clark's historic sales records, becoming the league's #1 selling jersey. Sophie's social media following exploded, skyrocketing from 300,000 to over 1.7 million followers practically overnight. Fans were drawn not only to her courage, but to the dramatic storyline. Sophie stood up publicly for Clark, defending her fiercely after the refereeing disaster. Ironically, this controversy made Caitlin Clark even more famous, creating a powerful duo fans couldn't resist. But just as things were reaching peak intensity, another unexpected offer appeared, one that threatened to permanently take Sophie away from basketball. Just when it seemed Sophie Cunningham couldn't stir more controversy, Jeanie Buss, the powerful owner of the LA Lakers, entered the drama with a stunning offer. Buss publicly invited Cunningham to join WOW, Women of Wrestling, as their newest enforcer, recognizing her fierce attitude as exactly what the entertainment world needed. Overnight, Sophie went from basketball rebel to potential wrestling superstar.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, this is an entertainment business. I know a lot of people pay a lot of money to come and watch us play, and so we want them to have fun. And at the end of the day, I work my tail off in the off season, and now this is my fun. I want to go out there, I want to smile, I want to laugh, I want to get the crowd involved, and that's just who I am. I'm an energy player. And at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever the team needs. But when you get this building popping, it's really hard to play here.
Further embarrassing the WNBA by suggesting its stars were safer in a wrestling ring than on their own courts. Even Angel Reese joined the frenzy, reposting Sophie's Arby's shirt with a provocative caption, further igniting tension among players and officials. This wasn't merely sports anymore, it was entertainment, controversy, and rebellion wrapped into one. But as Sophie's fame escalated, panic swept the WNBA offices, prompting league officials to consider drastic, controversial measures that fans would find shocking. As Sophie Cunningham's fame exploded, WNBA officials panicked, desperate to regain control. Instead of addressing players' concerns about refereeing and safety, league management seriously considered banning branded clothing entirely, a move critics immediately labeled tone-deaf. Fans accused the WNBA of ignoring real problems, choosing instead to silence outspoken players. Sophie Cunningham responded again, boldly mocking the league with a viral Instagram story, showing herself proudly holding an Arby's burger, wearing a gold chain inscribed with 5K Fine Club. Her blatant mockery of the league's punishment turned Cunningham into a hero among fans who supported athletes' rights. The WNBA's heavy-handed approach only intensified backlash, prompting even more chaos online. Sophie had single-handedly exposed the league's inability to handle criticism, setting the stage for a multi-million-dollar offer from an unexpected ally, Arby's itself.
National television every game. That helps your brand. You come to play with the Fever because you're playing with Caitlin Clark. You become friends with one of the most powerful, popular athletes in America. But then there's always that moment. And for Sophie Cunningham, that moment occurred the other day with a takedown, a grab. It was perceived that she was protecting Clark. Wasn't really that, but that's all right. Let perceptions rule. And now people are interested. It's good.
With the WNBA still reeling, rumors emerged of a staggering offer from Arby's, $2 million for Sophie Cunningham to lead their national advertising campaign. The restaurant chain recognized Cunningham's massive influence, seeing her defiance as a golden marketing opportunity.
They call me, and so it's just trying to make everyone match and make sure we're all just having good vibes, right? You know, the seasons has a bunch of highs and lows, and so just trying to keep a level head on everyone. But I also think that we get to play basketball for a living, and that's super fun. So sometimes you just need a good perspective of like, hey, we're in the grind right now, and it feels hard, but at the end of the day, we get to dribble a ball for a living, so we got to be great.
League officials were blindsided, realizing too late they'd inadvertently turned a rebellious player into a highly marketable icon. Cunningham's unapologetic attitude had shifted the balance of power, elevating her beyond sports into mainstream celebrity status. Fans openly cheered her decision to mock the league, as Sophie's Arby's collaboration further diminished the WNBA's authority. The message was clear. The era of athletes silently accepting league decisions was over. Sophie Cunningham now stood as a symbol for every player ever silenced, with millions watching her next move, wondering if she'd choose basketball loyalty or embrace full-blown celebrity. Sophie Cunningham's rebellion has placed the WNBA in an unprecedented crisis. Her fearless TikTok rant, bold Arby's shirt protest, and multi-million-dollar brand deals exposed deep flaws in league leadership. Fans now openly question if the WNBA values control more than its own stars' voices and safety. With Sophie's dramatic rise in popularity and massive public support, the league faces a critical decision: evolve and listen to its players or risk collapse. Cunningham's actions have permanently reshaped the relationship between athletes, brands, and leagues. This isn't simply about basketball anymore, it's about empowerment and who ultimately controls the narrative. Like, subscribe and comment. Is Sophie Cunningham the hero the WNBA desperately needed? Or did she just spark the downfall of an entire league? Stay tuned, because next, the inside story of Caitlin Clark's shocking near exit from the WNBA over league politics.